Having a great evening. And yeah, let me know when a few people are in here. And we could talk a little bit. We got a lot of new followers, a lot of new subscribers. And hopefully I could answer some questions. What's up, people? If you're in the chat, say what's up. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope you guys are doing great. We got two people in here. If you're in the chat, just let me know if the volume is okay. If you guys can hear me okay, if there's no echo, if there's no background noise, and things like that, let me know. And to everybody that's new here, shout out to all of you guys. Hopefully you can hear me, and we could do a nice hour-long live, answer some questions. We got so many new subscribers to the channel. That's crazy. The channel is absolutely blowing up. Oh, man. So what did everybody do today? I was at a birthday party the whole day. I just came home, and now I just want to do a live, talk a little bit. What's up? What's up? I see one person is in the live. If you're in the live, let me know. Say what's up. Don't be shy. How you doing? Happy Saturday, everybody. Yo, Maytag, what's up, my brother? Thanks so much. Oh, wow, we got a lot of people. So first and foremost, how's my volume? Can you hear me okay? Thumbs up. No echo, no background noise. John, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Collector's Dream, how you doing? Good to see you. All good. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for the thumbs up. Wow, this channel grew like overnight. I was literally at 400 subscribers 2 days ago, and now I have like 2,300 subscribers overnight. So I have a lot of comments that people have. So I thought, why not do a live? I can answer some questions and just hang out with everybody. What did everybody do today? I was at a birthday party. I just came home, and now I am going to do this live. Hopefully I can answer questions. I have like 100 comments that I need to get to. Amer. Amit, you're saying you got me, you came here from Amit, I'm assuming? A-M-I-T, not M-A-M-I-R. Maytag, what did you do today? You were sharing all the details. I shared with everyone. Thank you so much, Maytag. I really appreciate it. You know, and for a lot of people that might be like, oh, I can't do this, or blah, 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 or this is BS. Guys, just look at Maytag. Like this guy right here in this chat, I've known him for several years, known him through like the internet on my other channels. And he's literally doing a very similar thing to what I'm doing, selling options to a high degree as well. And on his way to early retirement and supplementing his 9-to-5, using the same exact strategies that I'm showing you guys today. He's doing it because we were talking about this years ago. So if anybody doubts it, I mean, there's going to be people in the chat you'll see that literally are doing the same thing that I'm doing. I just subscribed, just found your videos, and you have a lot of similar interest in stock options age. Very, very nice. How old are you, buddy? I'm glad that you subscribed. Thank you so much for that. That's why I'm doing the live today. I got a lot of new subscribers. Hopefully I can answer some questions for you guys. Hopefully I can, you know, be helpful for you guys. My dad was a cleanup crap from a basement flood, throwing crap into the dumpster outside. Manual labor is always good to do. The manual labor is always good to do. That's why we're always sons, right? We're going to have our kids help us. Actually, I'm going to buy an Optimus robot when they come out. The robot's going to do all the work for me. 45, nice age. I am 42 right now. Adam taught me everything I know about covered calls and cash secured puts. Thank you so much, Maytag. I appreciate it. So many people doubt it. So many people are like, oh, this is BS. It doesn't really work. You know, you're full of it. But guys, like, look at the comment down below. This is Maytag. I've known him for years through the internet. I was showing these techniques to him on my other channels when I just started doing these techniques probably like 3 years ago. And he's doing a very similar strategy to what I'm doing because it's it's the same strategy, and he's banking. So just saying, anybody can do it. I trade options and heavy into dividends. Nice. What kind of dividend stocks do you like? Sup, Adam Morrow? What's up, buddy? How you doing, my man? How you doing? I hope you're having a great evening. If anybody's joining me in the chat, I hope you guys are having a great day. My name is Adam. I retired last year at 41 years old. I hit several multi-baggers. Some of you guys know me from my other channels. I was talking about Palantir, Robinhood, HIMS, things like that for a while. I was able to hit a bag. I took that money, I invested into high yield dividend ETFs, and I sell covered calls and cash secured puts to generate additional income. I still have a few multi-bagger plays like long options, but I concentrate on income right now. That's all I care about to enjoy my life. And I'm doing a live because I have a lot of subscribers here today, new subscribers. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me. No question is too small. No question is too big. By the way, isn't this cool? Like, I'm looking at a screen right here, but it looks like I'm looking at you guys up here, but I'm actually looking down. This is NVIDIA AI. You're golden. You're golden. I love QQQI. I love SPY. I love NEOS. Those products are amazing. They're super tax efficient. And JEPQ, I hold in a tax deferred account. I don't like JEPQ for a taxed account. John, new to your channel, on Amit's channel, he gave you a nice shout out. Yeah, shout out to Amit. He's a stud. I've known Amit for several years already. And I kid you not, around 3 years ago, 2 years ago, so when he was doing the Vlad interview, me and him met up in Manhattan, and we were on a rooftop, and we were having lunch. It was actually a Restoration Hardware rooftop. And I was showing Amit, I'm like, yo, Amit, look, I got this system. I'm making money from selling options, and it really works. And I showed it to him. And he's like, wow, this is really cool. It really works. And Amit selling options is in a large part, not in totality, but in a large part from that meeting, that lunch that me and him had. And I showed him my account. I'm like, Amit, look at my Robinhood account. I'm making X amount of money every single week, every single month. And he's like, oh, wow, this works. I'm going to do the same thing once I cash out on some of my long options. And he's been killing it. Amit makes really, really great plays, and he's killing it with his money. I'm very similar to you, have a decent bag and invest heavily into those. Amazing, man. Fist bump to you, brother. I've literally made hundreds of thousands of dollars on premiums and cash covered calls, cash, thanks to your videos. No joke. I've been rocking with dividends the last year. I used to be a hardcore municipal fund guy. Yeah, man, that's it, man. That it's as easy as that, and it's shocking that people don't do it. And it's shocking that people don't want to learn. It's shocking that people call it bullshit. It's shocking that people are like, oh, you're the only one. It's only going to work for you. It's not going to work for me. No, that's not the case. This really works. It gets so easy once you do a few of these, and once you get into problems and you learn to manage selling options, it really, really works. If you stack selling options on top of high yield dividends, you can supplement your 9-to-5 job really, really well and go to an early retirement. New to his channel, also found him and bought the dip. What stocks are you in, John? What stocks are you in? Adam, could you make a video on the basics of options? Have never done it, but I'm super interested. Yeah, so I can show you how to do it. I got a couple of videos out, but let me just give you a general idea of the basics. So, Maytag, I'll see you later, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. Kumi, hello. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. So, when you say make a basic video, do you mean like the basics of covered calls, and cash secured puts of selling options, or do you mean actually demonstrating the beginning of how to do the first thing, like the technicals of it or the actuality of it? But I'll give you the basics right now. Steve, how are you, buddy? This is the basics of selling options, okay? You have two main options that you could sell. There's others, but there's two main ones, and this is all you should worry about right now. You have cash secured puts and you have covered calls. Covered call is when you own 100 shares of a stock. That's one option. One option contract is 100 shares. You have 1,000 shares, you can do 10 contracts. You have, 100,000 shares, you could do 1,000 contracts. Every contract is 100 shares. A covered call is when you have 100 shares and you're selling. A cash secured put, you don't own the shares and you are putting up money as collateral. That's why you are securing the put with cash. Cash secured put. Very, very simple. So now you have a covered call and you have a cash secured put. That is what selling options is. Now, in both of these cases, you have to come up with a strategy. There is a basic strategy that all beginners should. It's a rule of thumb. It doesn't mean that this is the only way to do it. This is a rule of thumb of how beginners should start. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just sharing my own personal journey with this YouTube channel to be used as entertainment and inspiration to show people that you can retire early. I'm no better than you. We are all the same. And if I can retire at 41 years old, so can you at some age before you're 65 years old. I don't know what that age is, but everybody can retire early using a specific strategy. So I'm sharing the strategy that works for me. So you have a cash secured put and you have a covered call. In both cases, I sell covered calls and cash secured puts 4 weeks out. So I'll always do 1 month. So for example, if I start selling today, which would be April, May 3rd, it would be May 10th, that's 1 week. May 17th, that's the second week. May 24th would be the third week. And June 1st would be the fourth week, 4 weeks. So May 3rd to June 1st. All contracts, not all, except for the ETFs, but almost all of them, always expire on a Friday. That's the expiration, Fridays. So I sell as a beginner 4 weeks out. So as a beginner, you want to do 4 to 6 weeks out. I prefer 4. 4 to 6 is the magic number for beginners. When you sell your options, there's going to be something called Greeks. There's a delta, there's a theta, there's a gamma, there's a vega, and there's a rho. Those are the 5. The main Greeks that you need to worry about is something called delta and something called theta. The other ones matter, but these are the ones that matter the most. So as a beginner, you want to be selling 4 to 6 weeks out. You want to be selling at a 20 delta. And when you're selling something at a 20 delta, that means you have roughly an 80% chance in your favor for the options to expire worthless, which means when you sell your options, whether it's a covered call or a cash secured put, somebody is buying it. When they buy it, you are collecting a premium. The premium that you collect is your premium no matter what, whether your contract gets assigned or expires worthless, or you roll it or you wheel it. There's going to be 2 things that can happen when you sell an option. So you're selling a covered call or a cash secured put. A cash secured put is when you don't own shares. You are saying that you are willing to buy shares at a certain price at a certain expiration date. Okay? Covered call, you are saying I am willing to sell my shares at a certain price at a certain date called the expiration date. Very simple. For this, somebody is paying you, right? If you have ever bought a long call, if you have ever bought an option, a long option, well, for you to buy an option, somebody is selling you an option. And if you bought a put, well, if you're buying a put, somebody is selling a put. Most people only buy long options. Some people buy puts, most people don't. Well, almost nobody sells the covered calls or sells the cash secured puts. A small select group of people are the ones that are selling most of these contracts. It's not taboo, but not so many people do it. So as a beginner, cash secured puts, covered calls, 4 to 6 weeks out, 20 delta. And when you are selling it, to make sure that this works, you want to collect 2% in premium every month. So if you're doing a 4-week play, you want 2% at least. If you're doing a 6-week play, then you want to collect 3%, right? 4 weeks is 2%. 6 weeks is 3%. When you put all of this together, and I'll make a video on it, 4 to 6 weeks, 20 delta, 80% in your favor, that the contracts are going to expire worthless, and you collect 2% on your money, then this is a good trade as a beginner, right? This is a rule of thumb. When selling these options, there's going to be a few things that can happen, not many. Either at the expiration date, you're out of the money. So what does that mean? Let's say you have Robinhood shares. Robinhood is trading at $50 right now. You sell a covered call. You're saying, I'm willing to sell my shares at $55 in 4 weeks from now. For example, if the share price is less than $55 and it's a covered call, you are out of the money and the contract expires worthless. However, if the shares of Robinhood is trading for $55.01, your contract is now in the money and you can get assigned, which means the person that bought the contract, that paid you the premium, now has the option, it's their right, not guaranteed that they do it, it's their option to execute the option, which then assigns your shares to them, and they can now buy your shares for the agreed upon contract of $55. This is a covered call. As you get closer to your expiration date, for me, it's the last week. So I sell it for 4 weeks and I don't do nothing, essentially for 3 weeks. On the 4th week, on Monday and Tuesday, I look at my contract. If I'm in the money or close to in the money, right? I have a $55 strike price and it's $55 on the last week. What I do is I roll the contract. I have a lot of videos on this. You guys can feel free to look through this. I'm just explaining it. I'm just explaining it because I was asked the basics of options. So it either expires worthless, you get assigned, or you roll it to a later date. When doing a cash secured put, so that's a covered call, you're going to be doing the same exact thing. 4 to 6 weeks out, you're looking for a 20 delta, and you're looking to collect 2% a month, or 2% for 4 weeks, 3% for 6 weeks on your money. So, for example, with a cash secured put, you are saying, I am willing to buy shares at a certain price at a certain date. Robinhood right now is trading at $50. You are saying by June 1st, you are willing to buy Robinhood for $45. If Robinhood goes to $40 by the expiration, by June 1st, well, you still have to pay $45 because the contract is for $45. However, if Robinhood is $44.99, you still got to pay $45. If Robinhood is $45.01, it expires worthless. You don't have to do anything whatsoever. If the share price is below your strike price, you are now in the money. If the share price is above your strike price, you are now out of the money. These are the basics of selling covered calls and selling cash secured puts. Does any of this make sense, or do you want me to elaborate? Or do you have any questions, Moro, that I could, answer even more than that? Sell options and print money. That's for sure, brother. That's for sure. I do it all the time. And if you guys are new to the channel, I show you guys a lot of my plays. If you look at my older videos where I'm showing you how I'm making tens of thousands of dollars a month, I'm showing you guys proof. I'm showing you receipts. I'm showing you timestamps. I'm literally showing you my account. So yeah. I'm new to stocks. Also opened up a brokerage about a year ago. So I have VU, Tesla, Nvidia, XLK. I have never done. And John, these are great. Do you own 100 shares of anything? Of Nvidia or Tesla? Also, VU is basically like the SPY, right? It's an S&P 500. Are your favorite dividend ETFs good? Yeah, so my favorite dividend ETFs, definitely I love NEOS. NEOS QQQI, SPY-I, IWMI, and BTCI, which is their Bitcoin ETF. I also have a bunch of other ETFs for diversification. For example, PFFA, which is a preferred share ETF. PBDC, which is a business development company ETF. I do have MSTY for Misty, but I don't suggest that for anybody. That's an extremely volatile ETF. I like it, but I wouldn't really talk about it on my channel. I don't think I will. I have BITO as well, which is a Bitcoin ETF. These are all dividend ETFs. I own GPIC. I own GPIX. I think I sold it to buy something else on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I own also Verizon, BTI, MO. MO and BTI are tobacco plays. One's American, one's from the UK. And I got some other ETFs. I got roughly 25 different dividend ETFs. But I love the NEOS ETFs, the QQQI, the SPY-I, the IWMI. NEOS, unlike other funds, they sell covered calls on futures. So under tax rule 1256, it's taxed 60% long-term capital gains and 40% short-term capital gains. So it's extremely tax efficient. Adam, what stocks are you targeting right now for cash secured puts? So for cash secured puts, I have a tutorial about it right now. I currently have a $655,000 cash secured put on SoFi, $14 strike, expiring May 16th. And I've been rolling that for the last 3 months, right? And I collected on that roughly, I collected $10,000, $10,000, $20,000. I think I collected like another 15. That's 35. I collected roughly 40 something thousand on the SoFi play. I also have a $7 strike, a $3 strike, and a $3.50 strike, and a $2.50 strike for MSTU. And they expire May 16th and May 9th, respectively. And that's a $255,000 cash secured put. And I collected roughly 10, 7, and I collected roughly $50,000 in premium on that as well. So roughly 50,000 I collected on SoFi, and roughly 50,000 I collected on MSTU. I have videos showing proof of this, guys. And I also have $145,000 cash secured put on Robinhood with a $37 strike and a $44 strike for May 17th as well. I'm looking good on that. I also have a bunch of other smaller cash secured puts, but basically those are the main ones. So right now, SoFi, Robinhood, and MSTU. I've been doing SoFi for a very long time, many months, and MSTU I've been doing for a very long time as well, just collecting money, literally printing. I only sell puts. It's much better than buying calls and puts. Yeah, Mo. First of all, what's up, Mo? Good to see you. And I only sell puts. Yeah, selling puts is great. I mean, I like buying calls because the way I see it is you're never going to become rich selling options. However, it does help supplement your 9 to 5 income. And if you made enough money from multi-baggers, then you can retire. Like me. The only way I made the money last year and retired this year is because I was able to buy options on MicroStrategy, Robinhood, Palantir, HIMS, SoFi, Moderna. Um, those are the main ones, I think, where I made most of my money. So if I didn't buy options, if I didn't go on these volatile plays, then I would have never made enough money to be able to then get the dividend ETFs and options income. But once you make money, options income is amazing. I have sold Palantir $50. Yeah, bro. It's funny. I'm literally managing a position for my son, like $60 covered calls for January 2027. All I do is roll. So if you have a $50 covered call for Palantir on 9/19, to be honest, if it's me, I wouldn't even look at it or worry until September because there's nothing you can do. If Palantir wets the bed and the price drops back to 60, my suggestion, or anywhere near 60, 60, 65, even 70, if roll these. And if you really want to get out of this, roll it like to 2027. Don't even like think. Roll it for like 2 years from now. That's kind of how you get out of underwater options. You roll for as long as you possibly can, hoping that the price drops when it's a covered call, or hoping the price goes up if it's a cash secured put. And that's the way you get out of it. I'm also managing for my brother a $47 covered call on Palantir for July. So I'll let you know how that works out. Kumi, I don't have a Discord yet, but a lot of you guys have been asking me. So I'm going to be doing a webinar. I'm only going to be limiting the spaces. I'm probably going to have 10 to 20 spaces. And the webinar is going to have essentially 2 types of things. One thing is just a regular webinar with group Q&As. And the second part would be a one-on-one after the webinar for an hour where we can talk and I'll answer as many questions as I possibly can. So I have something coming up. I have a mailing list. If you guys want to be part of the mailing list, I'm not like giving you guys anything. I'm not spamming you guys or anything, but if you want more updates, definitely sign up to the mailing list. And in the webinar, I'm going to cover basics of options. I'm going to cover how I keep track of my options, right? I keep track of everything on an Excel sheet. In the webinar, I will give everybody the Excel sheet so they can be able to keep track of all of their options and all of their dividends. Also, I will be talking about what I do for taxes. This is not tax advice, but how I keep track of my taxes, right? I have a system so that you don't get, shellacked when it comes time to pay taxes next year, to keep track of it. And so that's what it's going to cover. It's going to cover options income. I'll do a few chapters on that. I don't know exactly what yet, but the basics and then advanced stuff. Also, how to keep track of all the options, and also how to keep track of it for tax purposes. It's going to be a webinar. It's going to be coming up. I don't know exactly when, but so many people have been asking me. So yeah, I'll hook you guys up. Let me just turn on the AC a little bit. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I sell puts weekly so that I can control the trade. Yeah, weekly is cool. The reason I used to do weekly, I actually used to do weekly on Palantir. I did that for like 2 years straight. It's fine. Everybody has a different strategy. Personally, I have thousands of options that I'm selling at one time. So for me to manage thousands of options per week, this becomes a job and it's very stressful. I like to sell for 4 weeks because, like I said, the second I sell it, I don't even manage it. I don't even look at it unless it's super underwater and I'm trying to get out of it a little early. but I'm not even going to look at it until the last week. So basically, I set it, I forget it, I sleep at night peacefully, and I don't worry. If I had weekly options, I would be up all night long. So that's the reason why I do monthly. But do whatever works for you. Shout out to you. It does make sense. If you want me to make you a video, you got to ask me specifically what you want, because I don't know what you mean by teach me the basics. I'll be happy to do it because that means a lot of people have the same question. However, I suggest you look at some of my former videos, like look at my playlists, my first videos. I have so much information of basics, like literally walking people through how to find the delta, how to do the technicals, the dates, how to roll, how to wheel. I have all of this, and I don't have many videos, right? I only got like maybe, I don't know, 10 options videos. So you could definitely get a lot of information from that. But feel free to follow up and ask questions. I'll be happy to. Mo, what's up, my man? Good to see you. What up, homie? Good to see you. But do I figure the delta? If you look at my videos, any video, I use Robinhood, but it's the same on any brokerage. Just Robinhood is easy to use. Let me see if I could share a screen. Give me 1 second. One moment. I'm going to try to share a screen. All right. Can you see this okay? This is one of my accounts. So let's say you want to do Tesla. This is Tesla, okay? You're going to go over here. Hold on, let me just take your screen off. This is Tesla. If this is Robinhood, you're going to go right here. You see it says trade Tesla options. You're going to do over here sell. When you're going to do it, you can sell a call or you could sell a put. This would be May 9th would be 1 week. May 16th would be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. All right. So you want to be somewhere between the May 20th, May 30th. This would be 5 weeks, June 6th, 6 weeks, June 13th. I'm going to do May 30th because I want to do 4 weeks. If you are selling a call, okay, you're going to see two things over here. You're going to see this chance of profit. And then what you could do is what you're going to do is, like right now, the price of Tesla is $288. You're going to look at something that gives you a 80% chance of winning. Why? When you click on this, the delta is going to be roughly that 20 delta that you're looking for. So this is a 28 delta. It gives you 80%. So you would then go to, you would go up. This is a 25 delta. You see, Robinhood makes it easy. It tells you everything. So 325 is not good. Let's go to 335. Boom. This is your play right here. This is it. You go to 335. You go right here. It gives you a 20 delta. This is going to give you an 86% chance of winning. All right. And if you want to do the math, one moment. You want to do the math. Actually, let's then do a put. If you're doing a put, sell a put, you're going to be doing a very similar strategy. You're going to go, instead of up, you're going to go down. You're going to look for an 80% chance of winning. You click on this. You see 80% chance of winning is a 18 delta, 18.6. This is good money. This is what you want. You want roughly a 20 delta, giving you an 80% or more chance of winning. This is good money. And if you take 250 by the 555, this is giving you roughly 2.2% on your money. This would be a good play. So if I wanted a play where I am looking to say I'm willing to buy Tesla at a certain price at a certain date, this would probably be the play. I would say I'm willing to buy Tesla for $250 by May 30th. For this, you would collect $5.55 per share or $555. You would have to put up $25,000 of collateral, and this is your 18 delta. Let me know if that made sense. Wow, so many comments. Holy wow. It's a lot of people. All right, next question. How do you know which stock to do options on? So the best way to find a stock to do options on, if it's a covered call, it's the stock that you own 100 shares of. If it's a cash secured put, it's a stock that you know inside and out. For me, I like to pick, 5 or less stocks. And it's something that I just know inside and out. So my options is almost always the same thing every month. SoFi, Robinhood, and some type of MicroStrategy, whether it's MicroStrategy, MSTU, MSTX, something MicroStrategy or MicroStrategy derivative. I'll also sometimes do NVIDIA. I will sometimes do a Tesla, and I will sometimes do a Bitcoin play, some other type of Bitcoin play, whether it's a miner or a Bitcoin ETF. And I literally do this every single month, every month, the same stocks. Almost always SoFi, almost always something MicroStrategy. And then sometimes it's going to be like a Robinhood, a Tesla, or some other type of crypto play. This changes though, right? It's not forever. If I don't like it or I want to get out of the play, so for example, something changed for me for SoFi, I want to reevaluate my SoFi plays after these contracts are going to be expired. For various different reasons. So as long as nothing changes, I do the same stock over and over again. Why? I know them inside and out. You want a stock that you know inside and out, the technicals, the fundamentals, the CEO, listen to the earnings calls, something that you know so good. Don't do something that you don't know good. If you don't know something good, it's so much harder. Because I know crypto so good, because I know SoFi so well, because I know Robinhood so good. And remember, I made my retirement on SoFi, on Robinhood, on MSTR and MSTR derivatives. So I use the stocks that I know. Why would you sell options on stocks you don't know? Also, there's a chance you have to buy the stock. So if I have to buy SoFi at $14, which is my strike, or I had to buy Robinhood for $44 or $37, or I had to buy MSTU for $7 or $3.50 or $2.50, or I had an NVIDIA play for $95, I don't give a flying fizzle. I'll be happy to buy the shares at those prices. Although I prefer not to buy the shares and keep rolling out of them, if I had to, I would. So that's how you pick them. Very good explanation. Thank you so much, Rhymes. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much. What capital is required? So if you own 100 shares of a certain stock, no capital is required because you already own the shares. If you don't own 100 shares of a certain stock, well, the capital that you need to start is 100 shares of whatever stock times the stock price. So for example, SoFi right now is trading at $12.50 times 100. You would need $1,250. And you would make roughly 2% every single month on that money. If you want to do Robinhood, you would need roughly right now $5,000, right? $50 times 100, $5,000. You would make roughly 2% on that every single month. If you're doing something more expensive like a Tesla, you would need 100 shares times $288, roughly $28,800, and you would make 2% of that. It's always 2% roughly of the amount of money. So the collateral you need is either owning the shares or whatever shares you want to buy times 100. That's one contract. And you would make roughly 2% a month on that. If you want to do a cash secured put, the collateral is the strike price of the agreed contract times 100. So for example, if you want to do something on Tesla right now is $288. You're saying I'm willing to buy Tesla at $250. You're selling a cash secured put. It's $250 times 100, which would be $25,000. For this, you would collect the premium. The premium is yours to keep. The collateral that you need is $25,000. However, you can deduct the premium that you collected from that $25,000 because technically the premium is reducing your cost basis. I have to run, but I'll watch it entirely. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, please ask. Have a great evening. God bless. You're awesome. I also have Misty in a couple hundred shares of MSTR. I sell covered calls on. Yeah, it's all good. Like, I love Misty. I love Misty. The reason why I don't talk about it on this channel is because it's not for beginners. And there's so much volatility. And the way they return some of their distributions is through ROC, return of capital. But it's not ROC like other dividend ETFs do. It's ROC that's cannibalistic, which means they're taking they can't make the dividend, so they're taking it out of the money that you invested. Other ETFs that do ROCs, for example, like GPIC, GPIQ, they're returning your initial capital investment for a tax-efficient strategy. Big difference. Eliter someone going through your videos in order, learning a lot, super inspired. Yeah, thank you so much. And just remember, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm going to say this again. If I can do it, you can do it. We are no different than each other. Plus, there's a lot of people in my comments. You saw my man Maytag earlier today. He's made hundreds of thousands of dollars selling options. I've made over 7 figures selling options. That's not mean asset appreciation just from selling options. A lot of people are going to say, Adam, you're full of shit. You're a hater. Just look at my videos. I show you guys proof. Now, I didn't show you $1 million worth, but over the last few months, I've showed you 100K easy. Think about that. I started my YouTube channel just a few months ago. I've showed you receipts for roughly $100,000. Right? And then some people are going to be like, you're full of shit. All right, whatever. So it is 100% possible. I am living, walking, breathing proof that this is possible. It's not that hard. You do need to manage sometimes. And the harder you get into an uncomfortable situation, but you're being comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, the better you get. Once you manage a few of these, you've seen everything under the sun. And you don't worry. I got 1,050,000 marker between SoFi, Robinhood, and MSTR. And I don't bat an eye. Yeah, maybe a little bit stressful, but not like big deal. How soon do you decide to roll? Do you wait until the last week? Yeah, so in almost all cases, I will always wait until the last week. I will wait for the Monday and Tuesday of the last week. If you are underwater, you can get assigned early, right? So if you're in the money, which means, let's say you're saying I'm willing to buy SoFi. Oh, I have SoFi, right? I'm saying I'm willing to buy SoFi at $14. That's my cash secured put. Let me just turn the AC down a little bit. Now it's a little cold. Give me 1 second. Thank you. Actually, let me do this while I'm here. 1 second, in case anybody does care. Guys, I'm going to leave a link right now. I just posted a link on the comments, right? If you go all the way down, there's a link right here. If you want to join the mailing list, please join the mailing list. It's 100% free. I did not send a single email yet. But in the future, I will be doing a webinar. That's the next thing that I'm doing. And any other things that I'm doing, I'll let you know. I'm going to do a webinar. It's going to be 10 to 20 people. I'm not exactly sure what the price is going to be. The webinar is going to cover basics, advanced tactics, mid tactics, technical analysis, and how to keep track of all of your option selling, including dividend income and my personal tax strategy. It's not advising you how to do taxes or advising you how to do anything. I'm just going to be talking about what I do, my personal strategy as a retired 42-year-old who retired last year at 41 years old, and documenting my plays, showing you if I can do it, you can do it. Everything is possible. There's going to be 2 tiers of tickets. The first tier is just going to be a webinar. Again, I'm going to do 10 to 20 people, very, very small, all Q&A after. And then I'm going to do the second tier of ticket is going to be one-on-ones where we can talk exactly like this for like an hour. Every single person that gets it is going to talk to me for 1 hour. I'm only doing this because people asked me for it. I don't care if you think I'm full of shit. I don't care what you guys have to say, because the people that asked me for it continue to ask me for it. So I am going to have a webinar. Please feel free to sign up to the email list. I'm not spamming you guys with anything. Please sign up. Let me keep going. So I decide to roll at the last week. If I have a $14 strike on my SoFi, which I do, I have a playlist, guys. It's literally managing underwater contracts. Just look at it. It's 3 videos: Robinhood, SoFi, MSTU, and I have 1,050,000 that I'm covering between the 3 plays. I will wait until the last week. So, but since my strike of SoFi is $14, for example, and SoFi is trading right now at like $12.50, whatever, I'm in the money. The contract is in the money. At any point, the person that bought this contract can assign the shares, which means on Monday, even though they're expiring May 16th, at any point, it could be this coming Monday, they can force me to buy the shares and I won't have time to roll them. But I found people are extremely greedy and they will wait until the last few days to assign you because they want more appreciation. So I wait until the last week, Monday or Tuesday. By Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're getting assigned. Monday or Tuesday. If you are really underwater, which at one point on my SoFi $14 strikes, SoFi was like trading at $8. When SoFi went above like 10 something, I rolled them. So I ended up rolling them not the last week, but like 3 weeks early or 2 weeks early, because I found an opportunity. Sometimes you got to look for price spikes and you got to hit the iron while it's hot. You feel me? You got to push it. But 95% of the time, I'm waiting until the Monday or Tuesday of the last week, and I don't think about the play at all. I only think about it until the last week. Is a realized gain still taxed if it remains in my 401k? No, a realized gain is not taxed in a 401k brokerage from my understanding, but I am not a tax professional. Can I do options on Fidelity? Yes, Fidelity does offer you options, but they charge you like 65 cents an option, and Robinhood charges you like 3 cents an option. I hated using Schwab and TD and all of these. Robinhood's the best, but you could do it. I see the options, but never tried. You can do it. The user interface is terrible, but you could definitely do it. It's not rocket science, but it's much, 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 much easier and better to do it in Robinhood. I love your transparency. Super happy to have found your page. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's the goal, empowering people to show you don't have to work until 65 years old. Even if you can't retire early, this is a great way to supplement your income, to put your kids through school or buy yourself a watch or go on vacation, whatever. It is a great way to increase your income. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have enough money to buy more assets, how do you, besides for asset appreciation, how do you increase the amount of money you're getting? Well, there's only a few ways of doing it, and selling options on the shares that you own is squeezing every single ounce of that you can from those stocks, right, to increase your net worth. Thank you very much for the comments. When your covered call gets executed, what's your strategy? That's a good question. So you have two superpowers that you're going to be doing as an option seller. Everybody knows them. One is called rolling and one is called wheeling. Some people that sell options call themselves wheelers, option wheelers. You'll hear that term a lot. I'm an option wheeler. I'm a wheeler. I'm a wheeler. I'm a wheeler and dealer. Shout out to TJ. By the way, he's a large account. I think he's doing it with a huge amount of money, and his name is TJ Wheel Deal. That's his YouTube channel. He's actually good friends with Amit, and he's excellent on this. Different strategy than me, but he's excellent, as good as anybody. So you have two strategies. If you get assigned, which means you couldn't roll it, you get assigned, you're going to wheel it. What does wheeling mean? Very simple. If that Friday you get assigned, and let's say it's a cash secured put, on Monday, you're going to sell a covered call on the shares you bought on Friday. If it's a covered call, you sold your shares on Friday, well, then you're going to do a cash secured put on Monday saying I'm willing to buy the shares back. And usually you'll do it at the same strike price. For example, if you sold, I got assigned on my SoFi. I show it in my videos. You guys can feel free to watch it. Literally, just go to my SoFi video. I do this. I got assigned for SoFi at $14 because I said I'm willing to buy SoFi at $14. I wasn't able to roll all of them. I rolled like 468 out of 488 contracts, right? So I rolled almost all of them, but I got assigned for 12. On Monday, as soon as I got assigned, I ended up selling a covered call on the shares. So now I bought the shares at 14 through a cash secured put that got assigned. Well, on Monday, I did a covered call for the same $14 to try to sell my shares. Well, if you get your shares assigned from a covered call, so you have to sell your shares, on Monday, just say I'm willing to buy the shares back. And then you collect premium from the cash secured put and the premium from the covered call, or the covered call and the cash secured put, and you're wheeling and dealing. This is a strategy for option sales. I have been doing covered calls on MSTR. You are never going to get as good premium on anything as you are from selling options on MicroStrategy or MicroStrategy derivatives like MSTU. Never. They pay the best. Better than NVIDIA, better than Tesla, better than Robinhood, better than Palantir. The most money you're going to make on premiums is on MSTR. Yeah, already rolled several times. Initially sold like the 30. Good for you. Ask you anything, Hal. What's your favorite color of the alphabet? What's your favorite color of the alphabet? I guess black when I'm using black font. Hi from Athens, Greece. Hey, what's up? Good to see you from Athens, Greece. Adam, when can we would be able to pay for your coffee YouTube subscription? Oh, thank you for that. I guess when I get monetized, I appreciate it. I'm not monetized yet. I get monetized when I have 4,000 hours of viewing time and 1,000 subscribers. I currently have over 1,000 subscribers, but my viewing time, I think, is like 2,000 at this point. So, yeah, I don't have it yet. But I appreciate it. And in the future, if you want to be a member, or maybe I'll do Patreon, I would be happy for you to be a member. I just want to make sure that you get the value. But if not, it's not necessary. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Seems like you keep it simple and it works. Absolutely. I keep track of everything. I keep track of my taxes. I have a system that works. And I'm hoping to show people the same system. I haven't gotten any emails. That's normal, right? Because I signed up. Yeah, Kumi. Yeah, it's perfectly normal. I didn't send an email yet. The first email that everyone's going to be getting is when I set it up. I'm going to be doing a webinar. The webinar is going to be from 10 to 20 people. I'm probably going to be charging $250 for the webinar. It's going to be 2 types of tickets: $150 for a regular ticket, and $250 for the regular webinar, plus 1 hour Q&A one-on-one after that. I'm going to be covering the basics of options, the advanced of options. I'm going to be covering Greeks. I'm going to also, besides for like all of these things, I'm also going to be giving everybody that signs up to the webinar Excel sheet, how to track options premium. I'm going to show you how I do the Excel sheet, how I input all the information, how to track all of your options premium, how to track the dividends that you make off of any dividend plays that you have. Also, I'm going to make a part of the webinar is going to be taxes, not how to do your taxes, but how I keep track of my taxes, like my strategy of how I do it, so that when tax time comes, you have money ready. And this is going to be essentially for anybody from any country, but obviously I'm in America, so my strategy is for American. In terms of the taxes, the tax rates is different in other countries, but you're still going to get a lot out of it. So yeah, I'm going to have 10 to 20 people on the webinar. Tickets are going to be either $150 or $250. You're going to get an entire, if you guys like what I'm giving you guys with the free stuff, I'm only making the webinar because of people like Kumi who've been asking me about it. For anybody that says, oh, why are you selling courses? I was asked by Kumi and several other people, when are you going to have a course? When are you going to have coaching? When are you going to have any additional information? So I'm doing this because people asked me to do it. I know I have a lot of new people here, and I don't need to apologize, but I feel like I need to say it to explain it. So I didn't send an email yet. I have an email list down below. When the webinar is going to be open, I'm going to be doing a webinar for 10 to 20 people. That's it. I'm not sure if it's 10 or 20, but that's it. 250, 150 regular tickets. 250 is going to be for regular plus 1 hour one-on-one. Talk about whatever you want, complete Q&A, and Q&A obviously after the regular webinar. I'm going to jam pack it with a lot of information. I need to try to come up with content for it, and it's going to be live, I don't know, through like a Zoom type of program. So yeah, thank you very much for signing up. I appreciate it. Kumi. Evening all. Good evening. Hook them. Just started investing early September, only trading stocks. I feel it's time for options. Now I will catch your videos and come back with questions. Yeah, feel free to ask questions. I've answered every single comment that everybody asked so far, except for today. Today was the, I didn't have time. I don't work on the Sabbath. So I will be catching up for those comments between tonight after this live and tomorrow. I appreciate everybody rocking with me. Please ask questions. As you can see, I'm an open book. I will answer anything you guys want, you know, respectfully. What do you think about Strife and Strike as high yield? So I like those plays. Okay, STRF and STRK, those are preferred shares of MicroStrategies, and hybrids are preferred shares. What does that, how does that work? You buy the shares, you get a dividend. MicroStrategy pays you that dividend. As a preferred shareholder, you are first in line to get paid. So before regular shareholders get paid dividends, preferred shareholders get paid dividends. Since MicroStrategy does not really offer dividends, this doesn't matter so much, but a preferred shareholder is above and beyond a non-preferred shareholder in terms of being in line to get paid. Great. If I'm not mistaken, STRF and STRK pay between 8 and 10%. If I'm not mistaken, last time I remember. They're great. I love them. They're not offered on Robinhood. My thing is, I'm not going to buy anything MicroStrategy for 8 to 10% dividend on a preferred stock. Why? I can get a better dividend yield investing in something else. I'm not going to do a MicroStrategy product for dividend. The reason you buy MicroStrategy is to make wealth. You want to invest 100,000 and you want that to become $500,000. That's why you invest in MSTR. You invested 40K, you want 80K. You don't want to put in $100,000 and make $10,000 a year, or put in $1,000 and make $100 a year. That's not why you're in MicroStrategy or any MicroStrategy derivative. So I love MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is the main reason why I'm able to retire. That's where I made most of my money, or a lion's share. I would not get MicroStrategy preferred shares as a dividend investor because I can get better dividends with something else, if that makes sense. With that said, I love the company. I love MicroStrategy. I love Michael Saylor. I don't agree with his aggressive Uber ATMs, but that's a different story. I hope that answered your question. Why not go at a longer position 12 months out and get a better option? I'll answer this. Let me just turn off the AC. It's getting freaking like a blizzard. Okay, why not go longer? So when selling options, not buying, this is strictly talking about selling options. The shorter the duration, whether it's 1 week or 1 month or 6 months, all pertaining to a higher duration, right? If I sell 4 1-week options, I will collect more premium than selling 1 4-week option. If I sell 12 1-month options, I will collect more premium than selling 1 12-month option. If I sell 2 6-month options, I will collect more premiums than selling 1 12-month option. With that said, you need to find a happy median where I personally don't want to manage things. I want to set it and forget it. So that's why I do 4 weeks. And that's why the golden rule is 4 to 6 weeks, because 4 to 6 weeks for beginners is the ideal time frame for you to be able to manage a position and give the position time to grow. Any shorter is no good. Any longer is no good. When I say no good, it doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means it's not ideal. You can sell a 1 month. I've done that before. You can roll for 12 months out. I've done that before. I have that right now. As a beginner, you should strive for 4 to 6 weeks in general, and then you should adapt and do what works best for you. What works for me does not mean it's going to work for you. I do 4 weeks out. I don't stick to the 20 delta rule because I'm very, very comfortable in uncomfortable situations managing. I use a lot more things to get my price targets. So to answer your question in short, the reason why I don't do 12 months is because I want to collect more premium. And by doing 12 1 months, I'm going to collect more money than somebody doing a 12-month play. Portfolio margin or Reg T? I don't know what that means. Can you please elaborate, EA Monterey? I don't know what that means. Will this be considered level 1? Yes, level 1 options. What's up, Adam? Jeremy, what's up, my man? I hope you're doing good. I think I remember you from my old channel. Yeah, you're saying welcome back. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for finding the channel again. He's not full of it. Once you see it and understand, he's saying you can't unsee it. Yeah, my man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the people that actually sell options to explain this and to understand it, because like Rhyme said, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you get this down, you'll be good. You know what I mean? Like, this works. Any thoughts about NVIDIA earnings on May 28th? I don't know. I don't really care. I have a stack of long-term NVIDIA. I sell covered calls against my NVIDIA shares. I also have NVIDIA long, NVDL. I sell shares, I sell options against those. I don't really care what happens. At this point, I don't care about price appreciation or really price depreciation, because I know that I just care about my income from dividends, and I care about my options income. And then as long as I have quality companies, I know eventually, whether it's 6 months, 1 year, or 5 years, or 10 years from now, I'll do good. So I know NVIDIA is going to be powering AI. I know robots are coming. I love optimists. This is the future. People might not believe it. People might want to be naive or ignorant about it. That's the future. So NVIDIA is powering all of the artificial intelligence, the real artificial intelligence that's going to be coming. Whatever we have right now is still baby stuff. The real stuff that's coming is powered by NVIDIA. So how can you not love this company? That's my thoughts. Do you trust high yield dividend ETFs? They could be way down years down the road. Look, who knows what's going to happen down the road? Do I trust them? Yeah, absolutely. I don't buy all of them. That's why I don't buy too many yield maxes, because those are terrible. And I think most people, 99% of the people in yield max, is going to get rocked, with few exceptions. So the way I work is, for example, on a play like MSTY, Misty, which is a yield max. Let's say I bought $1,000 worth. It's going to double to 2,000. I'm going to take my 1,000 out. I'm going to keep 1,000 in play. The 1,000 that I took out is my initial investment, and now I'm playing on the house's money. I don't care what happens to the 1,000 that I leave in, because I took my money out. That's how I invest with that. Now you have other products like QQQI, SPY-I, IWMI, things like that, which is like covered call ETFs. So I'm just going to break down the different types of ETFs. Those covered call ETFs, I love NEOS. NEOS just got awarded the best new ETF for QQQI. They've been super transparent. And I don't know what's going to happen later, but if you understand selling options, covered calls, which is what I do, then you're not too worried about these dividend ETFs, high yield dividend ETFs. Also, the other high yield dividend ETFs that I invest in is something like PFFA, which is preferred shares, and also BDCs. If you understand how BDCs work, if you understand how preferred shares work, then you understand where the money's coming from, and you're not going to worry. I also invest in something like ET and AMLP, which is basically midstreams, the United States midstreams, which basically they take energy from point A to point B. How are they not going to come back? As long as there's still, natural gas and oil, it needs to be delivered. So I'm pretty confident that in the future that the high yield dividend ETFs that I'm invested in are going to be good. That doesn't mean that that doesn't mean it's going to hold true, but I don't invest in everything. I think a lot of these high yield dividend ETFs are terrible. I think every zero DTE, those 0-day expirations that pay you weekly, are trash. I would not touch them with a 10-foot pole. I had them for a little while, and I'm like, yo, this just doesn't work. But the ones that I'm in, I'm confident. I like them. Yeah, my pleasure, for sure. Oleg, привет, bratishka. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. That's my man, Oleg. He lives in Florida. That's one of my best friends in the whole wide world. I actually know him. And we grew up together at our elder years. I know him for probably 20 years now. Shout out to him. Love this guy. He's amazing. Realized gains isn't taxed on Roth IRA, but it is on a traditional IRA and regular brokerages. Realized gains. Well, on the traditional IRA, they're not going to be taxed because it's tax deferred, right? So it's only taxed when you take the money out, I believe. The reason why I'm saying I believe is because I'm not a tax professional, so I can't tell you. I could tell you that on my IRAs, I don't get taxed. Not that I saw. Because you only get taxed when you start taking the money out, and you get taxed on your regular tax bracket. And at 59.5 on retirement accounts, you got to take it out. Now, if it's a Roth, you don't get taxed at all. So I think we're saying the same exact thing, by the way. So Rhymes is saying, I just realized, I'm sorry, I'm bugging. I'm saying the same thing you're saying, I just wanted to add one thing. Your realized gains is not taxed in the Roth IRA, but they are in traditional IRA and regular brokerage. The traditional IRA, you don't get taxed until you start withdrawing cash at 59.5, and your regular brokerage, well, you just get taxed right away. I just want to differentiate that. I wasn't reading it correctly. Sorry. Great skill in playing options, but the true skill is picking good companies. How do you find them? I mean, I just go with what I know. So Ray Dalio is a famous investor, and one thing that he says is go with something you know, right? He was always investing in things that he knows, things that he uses, right? Whether it's like a pen company or a water company or a camera company that I'm using or a screen, computer, whatever you're using every day. So I use Robinhood to the max. I love it. So I'm investing in Robinhood. I use SoFi as my bank account. I'm good with it. I don't love it, but it's good. Better than my other options. Could be better. So I'm investing in SoFi. This is just to give you a couple of things, couple of ideas. I use gas for my cars. I know that we're going to need gas for a very, very, very long time. So I'm invested in midstreams. I hope that makes sense. Now, I use crypto. I know crypto. I invest in crypto derivatives, whether it's MicroStrategy or miners, which I don't have any right now. I think I have Mara actually, or any other Bitcoin ETF. So the best way to invest is something that you know. Walmart. I own Walmart, bro. Believe it or not, Walmart. Because I use Walmart and it's always packed. I'll tell you another story. So I was losing my hair 5 years ago. When I retired, I ended up doing a hair transplant, and as you can see, the hair is growing really, really good. And I was using a product called Hims. So the company that everybody talks about now, and check my other, I had another channel, it's called Palantir 3030. You can check it out, Palantir 3030. I was talking about Hims when it was $3.50. Check my videos, no BS. I went on Tanner's channel and Tevis's channel. I don't know if you guys know them. They talk about SoFi and they talk about Hims now. I was literally on their stock tank where you talk about a stock. Nobody gave a flying fizzle about Hims. I was talking about it at $3.50, guys. $3.50. Hims right now is like $30, and it went up to like 50, I think, 60. Why? I was using it for my hair, right? So I invest in companies that I know. Nvidia. Right now, as I told you, my camera is where I'm. This is my camera right here. This is the camera right here, right? My eyes are looking here, but you see my eyes looking up. Why? I have an NVIDIA GPU, and my NVIDIA GPU has artificial intelligence that makes it look like I'm looking at you, but really I'm looking here. It also cancels my echo and cancels my noise. Like I have an AC that's working full blast. You can't hear it. So you invest in companies that you know. Of course, I'm going to invest in NVIDIA. I got into a Tesla. It drives itself. I'm buying a Tesla right now because I cannot live in a world where I have to drive myself, where the technology exists where you don't have to. So I invest in companies that I know, like Tesla, like Walmart, like Hims. Used to. I don't know Hims anymore. Things like that. So that's how you find the companies. Yeah, TJ is great. TJ is great. He has a large account. I think he's managing like $10 million, something like this. He's very transparent. He's very open. Definitely check him out. I have a covered call on Palantir 110 expiration 8.5. Should I roll now or wait until last week before DTE? I mean, in theory, you should wait until, if it was me, in general, until August. However, there's another rule that you can do or you could not do that says that once you are underwater, you can already roll it. Earnings is coming up. I think Palantir is overvalued. I'm an OG in Palantir. I think it's an amazing company. I'm looking for an opportunity to buy back in. It is not worth $125 a share. It is not. I don't think it's worth 110. And honestly, I would be buying back in at 50s. With that said, I don't know if it's ever going to come. I love the community. I love the stock. I love the CEO. I can't talk more highly. But the valuation got ahead of itself. If it's me and I have $110, I wouldn't touch it right now because I don't think it belongs at 110 and I think it should go under. However, there is a rule that says that once you are underwater, it is a good time to roll. So once it's above 110 is a good time to roll. However, it's going up and down and fluctuating. So at the end of the day, it's up to you what you want to do. I hope I explained this correctly. You know, it's up to you what you want to do. I can't answer that for you. If it's me, I probably would wait. But then if it takes off right now in earnings, you're going to blame me. So, but I would wait. Doesn't mean you should, but I would. Silly Bun, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that like button. I appreciate all the love. You guys are amazing. I don't know, you know, the views, you guys are crazy. My videos are blowing up. I don't even know what the heck I did to deserve this. MSTR is not for the faint of heart. MSTR is not for the faint of heart, guys. I was buying MicroStrategy's pre-split $48. That's pre-split. So the equivalent of $48 right now. Yeah, crazy. Happy to found that and feels like an early position on a great stock. Yeah. Thank you. So, oh, feel like an, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I just read what that says. That's awesome. Thank you so much. He said, finding your channel is like an early position on a great stock. That means that I'm a great stock. That's so sweet. Thank you. My buddy does it every week. Every Monday sells all of his covered calls. Has been doing it for 5 years. Easy. Easy. You know, everybody has a different strategy, but this works. This works. Everybody, the theory works. And everybody has different strategies, and nobody's right and nobody's wrong. If you're making money and it works for you, then you are right. If you're not making money and it doesn't work for you, then you're wrong. I like 4 weeks. That's what I like. But I'm doing thousands of contracts, right? Thousands. I'm not going to be managing that many contracts every week. I would lose my effing mind. So I like 4 weeks. Why don't financial advisors offer this service for their clients? Some of them do, but I'm not a financial advisor. I just want to say that. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy sharing my plays and talking about my lifestyle. This is not advice. So some do, but you know, it's funny. So many financial advisors, I know a few financial advisors, and they're financial advisors. And when we speak, they're like, we don't know any of this stuff. And nobody ever taught us any of these things, which is mind-boggling. Some people said, Adam, well, if you made $1 million plus just options premium and asset appreciation and you're retired, why do this? Why start a YouTube channel? Well, it's not my first YouTube channel. I feel like my other ones were kind of, to a minor degree, successful, but I didn't like make it. I want to make it. It's fun. And the main thing is financial education or financial literacy, to make sense. So that's why I'm doing this channel, to give back, to show people, you know, the literacy of what I do. It's one of the main reasons. Also, you know, in the future, it'll be so cool. My kids, my grandchildren, so on and so forth, my whole bloodline is going to remember me because they can see my videos at any point in time. It's like you're immortal. You live forever. Guys, we'll do another 10 minutes or so. Your explanations are really clear and concise. Thanks for what you do. Thank you so much, Gavin. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. That's so sweet. Thank you. Do you trust high yield dividend stocks? Not all of them. Some of them. I enjoy the ones that I have. I think I answered this earlier. So yeah, some of them. Netflix is a good one to play with. I would assume it is. I don't know. I don't touch Netflix. It's not that I don't like the company. I missed the boat on Netflix, and it's just I have other opportunities. So it's not that I don't like the company. I use Netflix. If I had to assume, Netflix would be pretty good to do this. How do you manage the deep in the money covered calls? You roll them. You roll them, and that's it. I mean, I don't have covered calls that I'm showing you, like deep in the money covered calls, but I'm managing $1,050,000 position on SoFi, MSTU, and Robinhood. I have literally a mini series on it. It's literally called Managing Underwater Options. That's the series. It's on my website. It's on my page. It's a playlist. I suggest you guys all watch that, and I talk about the theory. Now, it's not covered calls, it's cash secured puts, but it's 90% the same thing, right? So watch that. But to answer you, I just roll it as much as I possibly can. I find opportunistic opportunities because the market doesn't go like this. The market goes like this, right? So you're always going to find an opportunity where the price goes down and then you take it. Even Palantir, right? It's $125, but it was down to like $70 just a few weeks ago. So if you have a play, then you can get out of it. Usually there's going to be an opportunity. So that's all I could say. Worst case scenario, if you have to sell your shares, just do a cash secured put the following Monday and try to get them back. Sometimes you get assigned, like let's say you got to sell your shares at $100, for example, arbitrary number. That following Monday, those same shares can be trading at $95 and you bought back cheaper than when you sold. It happened to me several times. The zero deal only works only if you manage them day to day. Have to be in and out of your trade quickly. It's a different skill. Yeah, it's a different skill set. It's not for me. And the zero DTE ETFs are no good. Selling options, yeah, they work. You got to manage them. But the ETFs, I don't like them. When I say no good, it means I don't like them. Doesn't mean they're no good. It's not for me. Thanks for answering my questions. Much appreciated. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated as well. Do you think buying MicroStrategy now and selling cover calls is better, or sell puts to acquire them at a lower price? It all depends on your strategy of what you're trying to do. Are you trying to do asset appreciation, or are you trying to make income? If you're trying to make income, then cash secured puts. If you're trying to make income and asset appreciation, then covered calls. But selling covered calls at this stage on MicroStrategy is very scary because I feel like it's going to be in a breakout and you might limit your upside. If you're okay making money, but just not making as much money and collecting premium, then covered calls would work. What do you think about PMCC, pros and cons? PMCC, what is it? Oh, poor man's covered calls. I mean, I'm not going to talk about this right now because I'm mainly talking about selling options and dividends. So I'm just not going to answer this one right now. Happy to found your channel. I feel like it's an early position, a great investment. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. Some people close their covered calls early when they're oh yeah, I forgot to say that. That's right. Thank you so much for that. Wait for green days to sell a new covered calls and so, yeah. So some people will sell a covered call or a cash secure put when they're like 80% winning already. I'll talk about that on a video. The best time to do that is if you're winning on the trade, is if you releases the collateral to do a different play. So for example, if the money that I'm using for my cash secured put, I made 80% value, right? So let's say I collected $100 in premium. I got paid 80%. I can buy back that cash secured put for $20. So even though I collected $100 in premium, I can buy back at $20, which means I made $80 or 80%, as nothing B as is saying. But when I do that, then right, and let's say, but I have $1,000 of collateral on that. So now $1,000 gets released of collateral. So now if I can use the $1,000 to do another cash secured put on some other play and make more money than the money that I had to pay to get out of the play, then it's worth it. If not, I don't do that. If I could increase or squeeze out more potential income, it's worth it. If not, it's not for me. Congratulations on that. You're growing and it's great. Thank you so much, Oleg. I really appreciate you, brother. When do you consider the webinar would be? If I had to guess, I would probably say end of May. If I had to guess, end of May, early June. I just need to come up with a plan because this is kind of all new and I'm getting so many new subscribers. I'm getting a lot of DMs and a lot of questions of people asking for it, so I'm doing it. So if I had to guess, within 30 days. Where can I find your old YouTube videos? I have a channel called Palantir 3030. You could check it out. Palantir 3030. When did you manage your Palantir? How did you manage your Palantir covered call? So I was managing, and you guys can ask Amit. I don't care if you guys don't believe me, but you can ask him. I was managing underwater covered calls of Palantir since they were like 20s, like $18, $19, $20, $21, so on and so forth. And I was just selling weekly covered calls, and then I was just rolling them. Eventually, I got out of it. I had a covered call for, I think, a $50 strike. Those were my last ones, 50 or 50 something, maybe 55, 57. And I sold. This was at the end of 2024. Why? I remember even talking to Ahmed about it. I'm like, look, I made my number. I made my number to retire. It's not worth it. Do I regret it? Kind of. Obviously, you have regret because Palantir went up. But at the same time, I made more money with other plays. And you can't be greedy, guys. When you guys are greedy, you guys are going to get smoked. It happened to me last bull cycle in 2017 for crypto. In 2017? Sorry, 2022. I made a lot of money on crypto. I never sold. I wanted more money, and I got wrecked, like a lot of people. So you have to have an exit strategy. So to answer your question, how did I manage my Palantir covered calls? I rolled them until I didn't want to roll anymore because I wanted out of the position. But I rolled out of Palantir options. Dude, I was rolling like for months at a time, and I never got assigned. Believe it or not, it's crazy. I never got assigned for a covered call. I have been assigned for cash secured put, but not for a covered call unless I wanted to be assigned, which I bought out early on my Palantir covered calls. Now, if I had them and the price of Palantir would be where it is right now, I'm not sure if I would be able to roll out of those, but we'll see. I have my son's strike at $60 Palantir and my brother-in-law at 47. So I'm trying to help them roll out of those. We'll see how it goes. Why did you change the channel? Because the other channel was about stocks and stock appreciation, and I left the channel for a while to concentrate on making money. I was able to do the retirement, and now I had a debate: do I make content for my old channel or new channel? So I picked the new channel. Why? The YouTube algorithm does not want you talking about selling options when your channel is about Palantir, for example. They want you to talk about Palantir. So this channel is about selling options, retirement, ETFs. That's what I'm going to talk about on this channel. I won't be talking about price appreciation. I won't be talking about multi-baggers. I'm not going to talk about that. There's a lot of other channels like Ahmed's channel that's fantastic about this. But I'm going to talk about real world experiences, no fluff, no BS, about what I'm personally doing right now as a person that's retired at 42 years old. When do you reveal your portfolio? I'm not going to reveal my portfolio. Keep it stupid simple is a good rule to follow in life and investing. Yeah. However, if you look at my first video, I show you a screenshot of just one of my positions, which is SPY, because everybody always wants proof. Go look at my first video. I'm literally showing you a screenshot. I have like 1.2 or 1.3 million in that position alone. That's SPY, SPY. So if you guys are going to say, oh, millionaire, blah, 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 there's your proof. It's in my first video. Feel free to watch it. Did you have Palantir covered call position in the 40s? I had them in the 50s. Just stumbled on your channel. Subscribe. Thanks for the tips. Matthew, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. Financial advisors are clueless on this level. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Do your own due diligence. Learn this. And guys, again, I'm going to say it. If I can do it, you can do it. It seems overwhelming, but it's really not that hard. And I'm not trying to oversimplify this, but once you do this and you get into trouble and you have to manage it, that's how you become comfortable. Like, I'm comfortable in bad situations. Doesn't mean I'm going to win all the time, but so far so good, to be honest. Knock on wood, right? Thank God. But the more you deal with this, the more you manage this, the better you're going to get. And this is just going to be like second nature. Like, you guys are just going to be walking around straight up, you know? How do you feel about weekly paying ETFs? I don't like them. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Thank you. Are you getting interest on your cash secured puts? No, I'm not getting interested on my cash secured put collateral. However, I use IOUs for my collateral from Robinhood. I don't actually use cash for them. I use them as an IOU. And if you're using margin as an IOU, you don't pay any margin rates until you actually get assigned and buy the stocks. So it's literally printing free money. I simply have a portfolio of SPY, QQI, XDT, adding on. No, SPY is great. QQQI is great. I don't like XDTE, but again, that's to each his own. I only want it for some extra income. I don't like XDTE because it cannibalizes its initial principle, but it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not for me. I love SPY. I love QQQI. Maybe use it to pay my mortgage in 7-10 years. Maybe, man. Steve, I appreciate you too. Thank you. Found you from Ahmed, great guy. He's amazing. And personal friend. I met his mom. She's so sweet. Welcome back. Made $1 million off of Palantir. Used to watch you and Ahmed. Cool. Thanks, brother. That is amazing, man. That's amazing. $1 million is so beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. For anybody that's new to the channel and don't know me from before, I am one of the OG Palantir creators. I was there in the beginning. I got in super early. I was there talking about Palantir, Tom Nash, Amit, me. Then came Arnie. Dude, I think I was one of the first 3 channels to talk about Palantir. It was me, Tom, and Amit. I think Tom was the first one. So, and then me or Amit was the second ones or third. So I think there might be some other people. I might get the confused, but definitely one of the first ones, right? Talking about Palantir and Robinhood and HIMS and a bunch of other stocks. And so some people know me. For anybody that's saying, oh, BS, just look at my old videos. I was talking about stocks. You could call it luck, whatever you want. I don't care. It does not make a difference to me. I was talking about these stocks before they became famous. So I was in them early, like Cosmic, Breadcrumbs, and a bunch of other stocks. And that's how you make your multi-baggers. Shout out to you. You think Tesla and Palantir are going back down soon? I have no idea how to answer that. Any tax tips? Like, do you move at every time you collect premium for taxes? Yeah, I'm going to cover that in my webinar. But yes, I automatically put money aside for my taxes. And then I buy treasuries with it so that when the taxes come, I'm able to pay them. Guys, it's been a while. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, please ask. I appreciate all the love. Thank you very, very much. And if I can do it, you can do it. We can all retire early and aspire to be better. Thank you very, very much. God bless you and God bless your children.